awakens, our memory returns. Within these open hearts, the sacred fire burns. And the way is simple, the way is clear, the way is humble, the way is here.
We're just giving it a few minutes so it's 11:02. We'll go ahead and give it 3 more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome. We're so excited that you're here. I just want to give enough time for everyone to join before we jump right in. If you'd like to just take a few deep breaths and enjoy the music and just get present, that would be really great to, just take a few deep breaths and being present in the music and allowing yourself to just be present in this space as we wait for the others to come.
Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind. Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind. Sinew and bone, you twist and tie, standing me up into the sky. Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind. Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind. And beating heart, you send me through 1,000 miles, then back to you. Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind. Oh, body, mind, beautiful body, mind.
Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. My name's Stacy.
And I'm Jamie. Thank you for being here. For happy Chinese New Year, everyone. And we are so excited to have you here today for a snake activation ritual.
And so we're going to do a few things today. We're going to talk a little bit about the year of the snake, what it is. We're going to give you some journal prompts that we will also email out with the recording, and we'll provide time and space for journaling today. So if you have a journal and paper and you'd like to journal along, you may want to grab that. And then we are going to work on some meditations and activations with the snake. And so that will be some processes that we'd love you to join us in. Right now, if you have like a comfortable space you can be, and if you want to get your journal and pen, we want to give you a few minutes to kind of just prep that. We love to call like a meditation space a nest. And sometimes when we do meditations, we do like breath work and things like that. So it's nice to just be able to have a comfortable spot you can do that. If today you feel like you can't, then we just suggest you continue to observe and participate as best you can. And then we send out the recording. You can always come back to the actual activation part and redo it. If you have like kids around, you don't feel like you can fully embody anything or, all of it, then you can always come back to it. So that's part of why we provide the recording as moms ourselves. Sometimes I do meditations when I'm washing the dishes, and then I'll go do the meditation again later when I'm actually able to like be alone and have the activation. So we really want you to be able to enjoy that if needed. Um, if you would like to introduce where you are coming in from in the chat, we would love to hear where you are here from. And yeah, so We're just going to give you a minute to get journal, paper.
Get settled if you can.
Hmm.
We're going to jump right in today. And we're just excited that we're here and gathered. So when you are ready, we will get started. And those who are listening to this on the recording, pause, go get what you need, and come back.
Boston, hey. As you guys are getting comfortable, we're so glad you're here. We really were excited about the New Year of the Snake. It just came on, I think it was Wednesday, right, Jamie, or
Mhm.
the 29th. So Wednesday when we had the new moon. We're coming out of the year of the dragon, and so the snake can be a very different energy. So we're going to work with first centering ourselves, getting us in our space, and then we're going to kind of clear out some of that extra energy that we come in from with the dragon. The dragon brings a lot of spiritual transformation, a lot of mindfulness transformation, a lot of transformation that is like up and around our space. And the snake is going to be more of a physical transformation, that aspect of like physically being able to transform. And we might notice a lot of different gifts that we haven't accessed before coming online. And we might notice, different things that we've never experienced before because we really do have this like physical coming online that's going to be happening this year. And with the energy of the snake, that can mean really like a lot of transformation in the way that we feel, hear, see, and experience either our gifts, spirit, or that universal energy. So if you've always felt it in a certain way and you've had this deep knowing of how you feel that, um, a lot of that may change because we're getting much closer to accessing it much quicker. And so a lot of times the channels that we hear those things from and feel those things from can change in the year of the snake and really be brought online very quickly. Did you want to say anything, Jamie, before we get started on our?
No, that's good. It's a
Okay.
good intro. Mhm.
So if you can just get kind of nice and comfortable, we're going to be working with just breathing. So I want you first to just take a few deep breaths. We love to do this in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you come all the way in through the nose as deep and long as you can. You do not have to go with my breath. And you're going to go in, hold for a second, and out. We like to do this two more times. In through the nose, out through the mouth,
Really push it down. Push that breath deeply in.
in through the nose, and out through the mouth. If it has a sound or any kind of movement that you feel needed for that, feel free to do it. Ooh,
Mhm.
I'm in Missouri. I'm on Central Standard Time, and it is 11:11 right now. So you are right where you're supposed to
Okay.
be. All right, so go ahead, Jamie. I'm going to
So
mute myself.
close your eyes and get centered. Continue your breathing. We always like to start any type of meditation or processing that we do here at Peace Not Perfection Academy with letting go. We need to kind of let go and shed and release and just shake off the day, shake off. Can you bring back the PowerPoint for me? Thank you. Shake off the day, shake off whatever may be troubling us. Maybe it's just putting ourselves out of our comfort zone to be here, whatever these feelings may be. So just journey along with me. If you get stuck along the way, that's okay. Just find your breathing rhythm again and open your senses up and just continue along. If you fall asleep, if you're laying down, that's okay too. Just to know that the processes that we do are working with you. Okay. I can't hear you. What's
Sorry,
that? Yeah,
I'm
leave that.
having technical difficulties. Don't worry about it.
This is good right there. Perfect. So taking a deep breath in, pushing that breath all the way down the spine into our sacral energy, into our womb space, and then breathing out and letting the energy rise up as the breath goes out. And I want you to find yourself on a beautiful beach and you're facing the ocean and you see something coming into shore in front of you and it makes its way. It is a trunk of some sort. And you see it, it may be encrusted with jewels. Maybe it has some words on it, carvings, colors. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small. Allow it to come to you. And I want you to open it up once you receive it. And your feet are in the water a little. You're letting the water just kind of relax you as you look into the trunk, as you open it. And you see it's empty. And I want you to imagine all of the emotions that you've been dealing with, any tribulations, trials. Maybe it's just your to-do list or anything that's weighing on you or on your mind or distracting you. And I want you to just fill the trunk with that. I'd like to imagine it going through my heart chakra and out into the trunk in front of me. But you have your own way. Maybe you scoop it up and put it in, but just allowing all of those emotions and feelings and ideas and concepts and anything that you know you need to just tuck away for a little bit over the next 40 minutes or so. And I want you to fill that up. And as you do it, just take a few breaths and just dig deep, find those deep seated things that you really just want to release. And I want you to put those in that trunk as well. Just allow, filling it up. And when you are done, close the lid and simply push it out to sea and allow the ocean to take it away. And watch it just go out further and further to sea until it's gone. And then you walk back up. Maybe you sit in the sand and it's warm and the sun is shining on you. Take a few deep breaths, bringing that breath into your spine and down into your core. Breathing deeply in. And when you breathe out, allowing the energy and light to move up your spine into your brain, into your core of the center of your brain, of your head. Maybe it even goes further and out the crown chakra. That's fine too. Do that a couple more times, breathing in, going deep down with that energy and light. And breathing it back up, breathing out and letting it rise. Instead of forcing the energy and light to move up your spine, I want you to allow it to rise as high as it'll go. And that's okay. We have no judgment here. We're not, we are participating, but we are not allowing our mind to take over. We're just taking breaths in and seeing the energy come in when we breathe in, go down our spine. And when we breathe out, we're allowing it to rise. And do that a couple more times. We're going to go ahead and clear out the energy of the dragon from the year past. This transformational, spiritual awakening energy. And for us to do that, we have to tap into that energy ourselves. So imagine that your back fully expands into dragon wings. You see them behind you. Maybe you breathe in on that next breath in and you see those dragon wings just expand. And when you breathe out, they close. Allow that energy to just open up for you. It is behind you. It doesn't have to be on you, but it could be behind you. You really connect with the dragon energy. Wonderful. Really connect it. And just breathing, allowing the wings to expand and close. And they are behind you. And when you are ready, I want you to step forward with your right foot. So if you're sitting, stand up in your meditation on the beach, standing up, and you're going to allow yourself to step with your right foot into the next year. And when you do, the dragon will fly away and release. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in. And then you're going to put your right foot first and step forward into the new year and release the dragon energy, giving it thanks and gratitude for all its beautiful, divine, mysterious, yet esoteric and juicy wisdom that it brought us last year, the spiritual awakenings we may have had, the aha moments, just giving it grace and thank yous. Maybe your dragon showed up. It's a wood dragon from last year, but maybe it showed up with fiery, passionate energy and it catalyzed a lot of things for you that you needed to transmute and change. And you want to say thank you now. Thank you for that energy. Thank you for the clearing. Thank you for the uplifting energy. And then I want you to bring your left foot forward with your right and just stand in the presence of the in-between. We're not quite in the snake yet, but we're right in between. We release the dragon energy. We're standing right in between. And I want you to just feel your feet feel rooted in that sand. Just imagine roots going down to earth. And the roots that you're forming to the earth's core may be ancient, from an ancient wise tree, or maybe they are new roots, a green and white that are sprouting from a seed of newness for you, whatever that looks like for you. Just allow them to go down into the earth's core and grab all that beautiful energy, that passion, that catalytic changing energy from the earth's core. And as you feel that coming up into your feet, I want you to just allow it to expand out in the space that you're in and up through your body. This is your connection with Earth. This is your connection with Mother Gaia. How does it show up for you in this moment? What do you feel? What does it look like? Just allowing the energy, the rooted energy to expand up. Does it change you? Does it move you? Do you become something else? Allowing it to expand, allowing it to grow, allowing it to change. And allowing it to be whatever it needs to be for you and surrendering to that without trying to change it or understand it. Maybe you don't see it, but you feel it. Maybe you hear it. Maybe it comes in words for you. That's fine too. Just allowing. And when you're ready, just bring it all in. Bring all of that energy back into your core, into your sacral womb space. Pulling it in, pulling the roots into the area of your sacral. knowing there is a space for expansion in this area where ideas are born, where they grow, where they're nurtured, where you can go into and find your own deep wisdom, where you can pull and bring the energy up through all the chakras, going up from the sacral, up through the crown, and back down the root chakra and back up when you need it. That this is a fluid energy movement, and it comes from this divine feminine space of growth. And then I want you to go ahead when you're ready and step your right foot into this year of the snake, and then bring your left with it. What does that feel like to you? What does the word snake mean to you? What does that do for you? Just allowing now. If there's fear, that's okay. If you resonate with the snake, wonderful. Just allow. Continuing to breathe. Continuing to work the energy from your sacral down through your root and up through your crown and back down your breath. Knowing that this year you could breathe in through your nose, pulling in that energy, pushing it way down into your core, into your root, and then bringing it back up. And this is a way to surrender to the energy of the year, a tool that you can use to access the energy of this year and access the beautiful energy of the snake. And when you're ready, you could bow, saying thank you to the snake energy, the snake wisdom, and all the transformation that is coming your way this year, the shedding, all the sitting in the void and surrender in that space in between the new after we have shed the old, where we allow and we can just allow ourselves to feel the expansion of that, and saying thank you for that energy too. So I want you to take a deep breath in, a cleansing breath. Just kind of reclaim yourself again, bringing yourself back to your body. Maybe you need to move. Maybe you just need to shake it out or move your mouth around your jaw. Kind of release the tension in your face and your arms and shoulders. Open your eyes and just take a deep breath. And welcome to the year of the snake. It's full of transformation. And I think we're all ready. That's why we're here, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone want to share what that was like? Anything at all? I know it's kind of weird sometimes to share around people maybe you don't know, but I just want to open it up for a moment, see if anyone wants to share. Okay, so we're going to continue on just talking a little bit about the year of the snake and what does it bring. And then we'll take you through a few journal questions. And then after that, we'll actually activate the snake. So when we are activating the snake energy is very well, it's very divine feminine. It can be divine masculine too, but the divine feminine aspect of like the way that the snake slithers and the way that the snake, curves around and the way that the snake gets around on her belly and the way that she can guide herself through almost any space. I don't know if you guys resonate with the snakes, but I had snakes when I was young. And one of the things I used to always do is I would pull him out of the cage and I would let him like crawl on my body because it felt so cool to have this snake like wrap around you in this way. Ball pythons are beautiful and they get real shiny and soft after they shed their skin. And it was just a really cool way to like be able to watch and be one with the snake. So if you don't have a snake, 'cause I don't have a snake anymore either, but you can kind of imagine and think about how the snake looks like, what is the most beautiful snake, right? Like a python's really beautiful. Some of those bigger pythons, not a ball python, but like an actual python, those are green and red and yellow, and they come in all these various colors. And so they also, move around in a way that is very um, kind of like a ballerina. They have a lot of grace and a lot of beauty about them. And when you look at a snake and they slither out of their skin, they don't slither in pain. And most of the time, a snake will slither out of its skin. It's not going to be just a small amount of skin that like comes off. And so, when they slither out of their skin, they'll slither out of their whole skin. And when you get that whole long skin available to you from the snake, it will be rough and dry and it won't be as pretty. And sometimes you can kind of see the print on it, but it really is just that aspect of like a layer that was shed. And as the snake comes out, it comes out in this very like shiny way and beautiful and soft. And so we really want to be able to embrace that aspect of waking up every morning, waking up every week, and allowing the skin from the night before, the day before to shed, because the year of the snake is so fast and so quick with our body meeting our spiritual growth. So the dragon is very out here and the snake is very in the body. So if we can wake up each day with that ease and grace of shedding skin, we're able to step into that new kingdom, step into that new life, step into that new path each day as it shows itself to us, and we can do that with ease and grace. So,
And
um,
I wanted to add, the snake in history has a deep, mysterious energy to it and has been used and revered in many cultures. However, it has a very healing aspect to it. So this year, if you are in a place of, I am so ready to heal, I am so ready to heal my body. There are parts of your body that you really are ready to either allow the transformation or allow the pain or allow the suffering or allow the change and the healing to happen. The snake energy is going to give you the grace to go through all those pieces effortlessly, because a snake moves effortlessly around all obstacles. If there's something in its way, it goes around it, it goes
mhm.
over it, it digs under. So that's the energy that you can go into, just as a specific part of your life, if it's to heal your body or heal your trauma or heal, to use that medicine that the snake offers this year in that way. And that was just a very niche kind of branch, but that's the energy you want to take this year and allow for the next 12 months with your life in general, that
Yeah.
you can overcome any obstacle this year. You can have that shedding.
And so we want to give you some big words to kind of hear for this year. You take from the words what you want. This is an activation, and activations work through stories and they work through somatic movement and somatic breath work. And so one of the ways we like to come to these kind of events every month is, how can we activate in us what we're working on for the month? And so we wanted to talk a little bit about what those words are that the snake activates in us. The first word is that word of radical acceptance, right? And so, sometimes it can be really hard to think about radical acceptance. Like, you want me to wake up and you want me to radically accept that everything that's happened in my life has brought me to this point, to this knowing, to this place I'm supposed to be at. And sometimes that's not easy. What if I've lost people, or what if I've changed my life many times, or what if I'm in a broken place? This radical acceptance can be a little bit harder. And so we're all on a different spectrum of what radical acceptance is for you. And so we just gave it like a quick definition. So radical acceptance means that we're understanding that all is divine. that when we allow things to go and we allow the ego to settle down and shush up a little bit because we're listening to her and we're hearing her, we can allow the ego to settle. And because we can allow the ego to settle, our spirit can radically accept where we are and radically accept the duality of part of our existence in this current world. And I think only one of you shared where you were from, but I think a lot of us are probably from the United States. So there is this duality of radical acceptance that we have to accept right now as we are experiencing this duality in our own presence. And then we have this duality I was thinking about last night of this space. I took my son out for his birthday, and I was reminded of this like deep first world non-issues that we have. And then thinking about, how far over the world of all the issues that they're having and what a different birthday it would be for a little boy in a different place. And so there's always this duality that we deal with in life. And so that radical acceptance isn't saying that I accept that this is okay. It's just accepting that we live in this existence that can be very light and dark, or very good and bad, or just very, I'm not so good today. And that's okay. It's okay to radically accept that you're not having a good day, or radically accept that you need to grieve for a few days or a week or a month, or radically accept that you haven't given yourself such deep rest that now you need to give yourself that rest. Your body and your spirit will tell you what you need, and it's our job to radically accept um, that presence, or that knowing, or that little thing that's telling us something. And then that brings us to knowing, right? How do we
Well,
radically
hang on.
accept? Yes,
Wait,
go.
radical acceptance also means for this year, especially with the year of the snake, that maybe your gifts are going to change. So if you have otherworldly sixth sense gifts that are present in your life and that you've always had, intuitive gifts, most women, all women do have them. Not all are tapped in and tuned into it. But if you are, that means radically accepting that maybe something you relied on before, gift wise, may have shifted. And now you're having to
Mhm.
learn something new and become a new being. And the other piece of radically acceptance is we often, as the snake sheds her skin and she moves into the new, there's that piece of right before we step into the new and accepting that, yeah, maybe right now there's silence, just silence. There's no guidance, there's no movement. Maybe it feels stuck, but we're not allowing our ego to tell us it's stuck space. We're just giving it the knowing that it's just a pause, a void, a stepping stone in between, because sometimes change can be extremely abrupt and traumatic. And the place you go to that is that in between will allow you to have that radical acceptance. It's that quiet mind, that bigger mind. So that's just what I wanted to throw in there. Go
Okay,
ahead.
nope, no problem. And I
Yeah.
would also say, like, I think this page has its own practice that you could kind of work with. So I'm going to finish knowing and Crone Wise, and then I'll talk about a practice that you can do that helps you with radical acceptance, even when you're in your hardest day.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I think almost like the day that you lose your most special person, like that grief of that, I'm going to talk about just a quick practice that you can do that can help with allowing the radical acceptance while also being able to kind of shed some of that energy that you're holding on to.
Mhm.
Um, and then knowing, this year is the year of the woman coming into and accepting and rising in her quickening. What does that mean? That means that, like Jamie was talking about, I have a gift of hearing. I hear things. And over the last few days, I've been visually seeing things, which that's not a gift I normally have worked with or experienced in my own way of processing. And so it's fun because I have a deep knowing that this is okay, that I'm experiencing it in a different way. And it gets to be kind of like a baby experiencing this new gift and playing with it and not being scared of it. And I can still access this other one, but I'm noticing that this vision is coming on really quickly online. And I'm not getting that same hearing that I'm used to. And my knowing is okay with it. But sometimes the knowing's a little jarred, like, is that my voice? Is that the voice of my spirit guide, or is that my voice? And so that's where that crone wise woman come in, that ability as a woman to have this deep knowing, to have this deep trust, to have this ability to radically accept that the things I'm coming into are exactly what my path is calling me to. And crone and wise woman sometimes can feel really hard to access if you're not in your crone and wise woman. So, it can feel really far away. Or crone. Some people don't like the word crone, right? So we think of the word wise woman instead. It's the same, they kind of intertwine. In your body. It's you can lay on the ground and shake or you can stand and shake. But what you're trying to do is you're releasing the energy, right? If I have deep grief, and my whole life has fallen apart at this moment, holding on to that isn't serving me either. So just shaking, sometimes it's real little shakes like this. Sometimes it's real big shakes and I gotta really shake it out. I'm just telling my body it's okay. It's okay. I don't need you to hold on to all this. I'm feeling it. I'm listening. I'm hearing. I'm allowing. But I'm also gonna kind of let it go, let it process. This helps you not stick that grief in your shoulder or
Mhm.
stick that anger in in your kidney or your liver. Maybe not be the right spot, but
And it's a nervous system reset too when you shake it
right.
off. It allows your
Yeah.
nervous system to discharge.
Yeah. And if you ever do yoga or anything like that, this is a great practice to do on all fours, and you can just shake your leg and then you can shake the next leg and then bring up your arm and shake it and then you can lay on the ground. So sometimes it's good to shake the whole body, and sometimes it's good to just allow one little piece to shake, and really just work with the arm until the arm feels like it's ready to let go. A lot of times you'll know you're done with this practice because you will sneeze, you will yawn, or you will have like a big need to like stretch,
Bye.
and you'll know that your body has allowed the release. So it is a really good practice to do. Like put on some music, sometimes I'll be even like jumping around. Some people use vibrating plates, but I'm more of like I like to just move my own body. But this is just a really good way to move the energy, to reset the amygdala that is fight, flight, or freeze, and to reset the nervous system. And if you're out in the world over the next few days and you have dogs, watch them when they come in and they're releasing energy because they will release their anxiety, their sadness, their stress. They will release it all through shaking. They don't just shake to get dry. So it is just a really good tool for us to use. And especially if you've never done any shaking before, um, start with your hips and shaking your legs and letting your hips shake because as women, this is where we hold our womb, and our hips is where we're going to hold all of our everything. So
Thing.
it's a really good practice to go. All right. So some other words, co-creating. So the snake can see what they have to slither through until they go into the dirt. And then they just have to trust that as they're in that dirt hiding, that they're going to be able to get where they need to be. And so there's that co-creating with the earth, co-creating with your spirit guides, co-creating with your highest power, co-creating with your personal tribe. Each of us has a personal tribe of angels, spirit guides, power animals, maiden mother
People.
crones, ancestors, right? We've got this
Yeah.
whole tribe that is
Mhm.
there just for us.
And I feel also our monad, our people on Earth too, who we contracted in to meet and become a tribe, a real tribe.
Yeah. And this
Yeah,
isn't always your family. This is the aspect of like, this can be your star tribe, your alien tribe. I mean, we are really
our
living in
mate
a
tribe.
world where we do, I think, have a sense of understanding that it's not just the religious spirit guides that we can work with, but also that there are these higher beings that have been in existence for a much longer time. And many of us are realizing, oh, I'm a star seed, or I'm this, or I'm realizing I'm coming from this other ancestral thing that has nothing to do with the human existence. So don't be afraid of those thoughts or those downloads that come in. They're just there to kind of help you maybe explore that. Like when I see something like a weird looking guy that maybe looks like I might go down a rabbit hole of just exploring what the Lumerian people are. What is a starseed? What is this? It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to accept it, but I can observe it and I can co-create with it and I can understand that all of these things are working in my highest power to elevate not just me, but this new earth that we're coming into, this existence. And then there's that last deep hidden wisdom. And this goes back to that wise woman, right? She's all knowing. She knows how to access her wisdom, but she also knows how to step out of her old skin very quickly into her new skin with ease and grace and no pain. She doesn't have to suffer through the lesson. Did you have anything to add, Jamie?
Yeah, so I want to go to observe, and a lot of times we are taught to we make a mistake and then we're immediately punished by our parents for it. And then we're told, don't do that. We're not necessarily told why. We're not
Mm,
necessarily given the tool to be like, oh, this is why I don't do it. I'm observing what ramifications my actions had. It was kind of like, here you go, you're on planet Earth. Your parents go, don't do that. Stop doing that. No, no, no. And we lost our ability to objectively observe, which means we've lost the ability, a lot of us, to see how one decision can affect multiple timelines in our future.
mm,
So we have an opportunity this year to sit in that space before we step forward and shedding that skin. It's like that old me, that old skin, that person I was is just not me anymore. And you just know it. You come to the realization that there's no going back because you cannot do the same things, take the same actions. And now you're observing that. Now, instead of
mhm,
saying, someone has punished you for your actions, or your body has punished you, or life has punished you by your actions you've taken, you're observing that actions that you took are just not good for you. They're just not
mhm,
good for you. And you're observing the ramifications of those actions. And so there's no more. I'm done. I can't go back. And so you're not going to take on the old skin, like a snake will not do that. The old habits, the old stories.
mhm,
And in that space of observation, and that place of that void, this is kind of like that void space, you're able to have access to more wisdom
mhm,
because you stopped and you're not plowing through to the next thing or plowing right back into old habits and stories, and knowing that they don't fit you anymore. They're not you. You are taking a moment and just allowing yourself to have the wisdom, the deep knowing, the wise woman, that medicine woman that lies in all of us. And she's there waiting for her opportunity to speak up. And you've given her the opportunity by that observation piece where you're just right in between. You're not
mhm,
quite in the forward motion, and you're definitely not in the story anymore. And she's going to come in, and you're going to trust that because you've given her an opportunity to do it. Or if you are a religious person, you've allowed God to come in and just really give you that wisdom, because there's that piece too. It's like ask, 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 but do you stop and listen?
mhm.
You can't pray, pray, pray and not listen.
And in the process of shedding skin, there is a process of being in the old skin.
Yeah.
There's a process of sitting there and understanding that I'm going to sit here under this rock in this space and I'm uncomfortable and itchy and I don't really like it. And I'm observing that I'm not really liking it, but I'm also observing that the half of my body's skin is almost ready to release, that I've only got this much more to release, or I'm observing that, there's things peeling away. I'm observing that, oh, look how I deal with that every day, right? I don't have a good way that I'm dealing with this thing. And I'm noticing it. Maybe I'm not doing something about it yet, but I'm observing it. I'm co-creating how I can move to my highest good, because I'm able to allow the observation of where I'm at. And Jamie's talking about that void. That void is between the old skin and the new skin. It's that void between walking out of the cave or stepping foot into the new skin, right? There is this piece. I liked that even in the meditation, Jamie had to stand in that void for a minute because we just had the new moon on Wednesday. We're not going to come into, we're not going to, oh my God, now maybe, I mean, like I said, the last 3 days, I've been having a very different gift show up. So there is some of those things that are going to activate quickly, but there's some of those things. That's the beauty of giving us 13 months with the Lunar New Year, is that some of those things are going to be activated over the year. And then our last one of the words, did you want to go over this one, Jamie?
Yes, so you kind of did go through that process, but thinking of our rest overnight as our shedding of skin of the day before. And this is a practice. It's also a lesson for life because the more we can embrace a rebirth each day,
Hmm.
the more we can reach for even just silence, but sometimes we have to reach for a better feeling emotion inside because we are dealing with something like grief or loss or stress or whatever it is, or pain even. But if we could even just wake up and feel nothing, which is not a bad thing. I think we were taught that that was bad. It's not. Then we are able to really work with the energies this year because it's going to give us the wisdom. We're going to be able to access that wisdom. And this year is bringing us rebirth. It's giving us opportunity, and it might happen a lot this year. Like you're going to
Hmm.
maybe have quantum leaps and quantum jumps, and then maybe you'll have periods of what feel like stagnation, and there's nothing, and then one big giant leap. But that nothingness is this piece of rebirth. You're still shedding those stories, skins. You're still kind of, maybe they're left at your feet. You've wiggled your way out of it, but they're still hanging on by, the toes or the feet, and you just are ready to just kick it away. You're done.
Hmm.
And that's that void piece. And the surrender piece and the radical acceptance is that grace and ease, because knowing, having trust and faith that um it will be changed. We all know a year from now, looking back on this time, we will have experienced a whole year's worth of things, right? We are not going to be the same human we were. Our cells rejuvenate, our liver regrows, our, things in our body physically are changing in that year's time. So physically, we are changing. But how are we going to do it? How are we going to allow us to change this year using the snake energies so that we can have these quantum leaps and timeline jumps and things that we actually want to manifest and bring in? Well, the biggest way to do that is just to accept that we have no control. We have no control. We can show up each day, rebirthed, new beginning every day, and we could put rituals and practices in place to support feeling good and accepting and being present and mindful each day, and having ease and grace for the changes that are coming if they come. For some of us are going to come quick. For some of us, it might take time. That's okay. It doesn't matter how they come, just knowing that the changes may be just you giving up old stories that have kept you locked in place and no growth. And that's okay. That's what we want. We want those old stories to fall away. And we want to rebuild new stories, better stories, and having ease and grace about it, and acceptance and surrender. These are all just words to really ponder and absorb and find their meaning. Look them up if you have to. I love using online dictionaries and actually get the root word meaning, and then I like to see what it means to me.
Hmm.
So,
So we have some journal prompts here for you based on these words. And so we're just going to give you a few minutes to work through these. We don't want you to leave yet because we are going to take you through the final snack acts. We are going to take you through the final snake activation. But we want to give you a few minutes to really just be able to spend some time with you. This isn't about us and our snake activation. This is about you being able to show up for yourself, have an opportunity to shed the dragon, step into the snake, and spend a little time with you. And so, with each of these words, we just came up with a few questions. Um, Jamie and I work in this way very much. Like a lot of the things that we do are working with an aspect of being able to generate archetypes and stories and things that are going to activate things within ourselves. And then we somatically move with them, somatically breathe with them, and we work through the mystery school teachings of the divine feminine in a way that supports women. And then we work with journaling and meditation. And then we work again with that like somatic piece so that we really are embracing an aspect of head. I'm learning, I'm activating, I'm listening, I'm hearing. heart, it's coming into my spirit. I'm observing it. I'm seeing how it's radically changing my life. And then hands, how am I taking this energy and allowing it to come in my heart? How am I taking this energy and bringing it from the spirit into my body? How am I taking this energy and allowing it to balance all the things within my physical and my spiritual world? And so that's one of the things that we do to teach women. So we're going to give you some time with journaling, and then we'll come to the snake activation. So if you have your paper and pen, um, these are the first few questions for the journaling. So the first one is working on radical acceptance. And it's just asking, what does radical acceptance mean to you? What does that mean to you? What does that word radical acceptance mean to you? So if you can just take a few minutes, write it out. If you feel ready to move on to the next question, we've got, how do you access your knowing? Where, how does it reside in you? Your wisdom, where does it reside in you? How do you access it? Where or how do you feel it? You can think of that when, where, how, why. How do we access our inner?
If you're new to journaling or you don't often do it, I like to just go with what comes to my head at first, even if it's I don't know. Even if I write I don't know, over and over until something comes through. Because sometimes there is a block when we're doing work like this. And just being persistent with the writing part of it. Or one word, two words. It doesn't have to be a sentence. That also works too.
Mhm. And like I said, we are going to send a replay with these questions, so you guys will have access to them too later if you want to spend more time with them.
Mhm.
What does the word crone mean to you? If you don't resonate with crone, what does the word wise woman mean to you? Are they
Mm.
different? Are they the same? Co-creating. Do you have a practice to work with your spiritual tribe on a daily or weekly basis? When working with them, do you ask for help? Are you always asking for the next thing? Or do you pause for a minute and show gratitude for all the help that you're receiving? Do you have a practice to work with your spiritual tribe on a daily or weekly basis? And do you work with them? Are you asking them for help, but then also showing gratitude for their help? If you've never worked with your spiritual tribe before and you're not asking for help, they're waiting, they're ready. They cannot help you if you don't ask for help. Because we are in an existence of free will. If we don't ask, if it's not of a safety kind of thing, right? They're not going to jump in. We need to ask. And you don't need to know who your spirit guide is. If you've never worked with your spirit tribe or your spirit guide and you don't know who they are, it's okay. You can just ask.
Mhm.
I'm really having a rough day. Can you help me today? Finances are really rough. I need support with finances. And then when they come in, this magical check that comes in the mail. Oh my God, thank you for this magical check that came in the mail. Where did it even come from? Thank you. Thank you that the insurance sent me a backup check that I've been waiting for 6 months just at the right time, right? Whatever it is, it's that aspect. Asking, co-creating, gratefulness, asking, co-creating,
And then
gratefulness.
observe. And then observe.
Yeah.
Are you listening? We're so used to moving on to the next thing, next thing, next thing. It's a 30-second world we live in. It's a 6-second scroll, 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 scroll. But do you take time and listen? And what does that look like for you? Do you have
How
a
do you
ritual
hear?
around it? Do you meditate? Do you do body work and breath work? All these things give you an opportunity to listen. Sitting in nature.
And we all have different gifts in the way that we hear spirit. So it is important to observe how you hear it or see it. Me and Jamie process things very different. And I
Mhm.
used to, when I first met Jamie, think, I want to process things like her.
Mhm.
I don't process things like her. My human design is not hers. My, horoscope is not hers. None of the things that are existing in my life are hers, and therefore I do them all in my own way. And I had to stop and learn what is that?
Mhm.
Or if I didn't have a practice, how can I call one in that's going to support me in this new skin releasing I'm doing every day?
Here's a funny story, real quick one. Um, when my husband was learning his way of, he's a listener, he hears things. Very auditory. He's clairsentient, audio sentient, or I forget what the word is for that one. Clairaudient. And he would literally ask his spirit guides for help. And then he'd get the nudge and he'd turn on the radio and he'd get a snippet of a conversation. And they'd say, turn it, scan it again. And he'd scan it. Then he'd get another, and it would keep going until he had full sentences from his spirit guides in auditory. And I would be sitting there listening to the sentences. I'd be like writing down the notes and amazing. Like when you really tune in and tap into that energy, you will know it in your bones. That's that deep hidden wisdom. That's knowing that the things are coming through, these messages are definitely not your ego. They are something otherworldly coming in to help you. So, how do you access your deep hidden wisdom? How does that show up for you? Is there something you could do today or this week to access it? And you
Write
can
down
write.
that first thing that comes to mind.
I was just going to say, your spirit guides are here now because we've been working with them, and now they're going to give you that answer.
hmm
Is there a way to do it right now? Is there a way to do it this week? Write that down.
Yeah. If you don't know how to access your spirit guide, ask, how do I access you? And then start writing.
Mm.
They will tell you.
I used to free write, like automatic write, and that's how I started really learning to trust my intuition. And I was like 17, 18. I had a book on it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it really did give me the confidence. And I learned to know that that wasn't me because I wasn't hearing the thoughts. I was just writing. They just came right
hmm
through, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So we're going to give you these last three questions. And then
Mhm.
maybe while you're journaling on those last three questions, we're going to tell you, we're going to take like 5 minutes and we're going to tell you a little bit about who we are, why we do Peace Not Perfection, what we have available. And then we're going to take you through the snake activation. So it's 12 o'clock where I'm at. It's probably whatever where you're at, like 10,
And
11,
here, I'm
whatever.
in
Yeah.
California. Mhm.
So if you're like, oh my God, how long is this going to go? We need to go. Um, I'm asking that you stay till 12:15. Okay. So that's about
We'll do
13 more
quick.
minutes. We're going to process you through this. I'm not going to take too much time on who we are, but just a little bit. And then I'm going to really pull you through the snake activation. So
Mhm.
these last three journal questions, we're in 2025, right? We just had January. We're just moving
Mhm.
into February. We're
So
coming into the
fast.
Lunar New Year. What are you birthing? What are you
Mm.
calling in? If I don't know where I'm going, then I don't know when I'm stepping into my new skin. So it's good to know what I want to birth, what I want to call in, what I want to bring in.
It could be simple too, as much it could be a word, peace, more peace this year.
hmm And then what do you need to let go of? What are we leaving behind? This would be a really good one to journal over the next day and then burn it. Burn that page of whatever it is that you're letting go of or leaving behind.
Mhm.
And the last one, and we're going to give you a few minutes to do these three. Do you experience growth in a hard or difficult way? I used to always think, oh, here I go again.
Oh, me
I'm going
too.
to shed my skin. I'm going to go through this growth. I'm going to, and I felt like it always had to be hard. It always had to be difficult. It always had to be,
Mhm.
something that was not easy. And so I've learned now to kind of let the ease come in. So, do you experience growth in a hard or difficult way? The
Mhm.
snake eases gracefully out of her skin with no pain or fret. How can you do this for yourself? Each morning, each day.
Mhm.
I know we just had someone else arrive. We're so excited you're here. You are coming in at the end. We've been going for about an hour. We're going to be going for about 15 more minutes. You are
You came in
going,
for the right time because we're going to be doing the snake
yes,
activation.
we're going to
So
be doing the snake activation.
perfect
So
timing.
stay because you'll still get that
Perfect timing.
activation. And then if you'd like to experience anything that we did for the last hour, we'll send out the recording over the next day or so, and you can kind of come back to anything that you missed in this call. So we're so glad you're here. I didn't want to not honor that you came and let you know what's going on there. So, all right. So as we kind of just leave these journals here for you for a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about Peace Not Perfection. So, Peace Not Perfection Academy is the business that Jamie and I run, and we believe that it is much more important to live in an aspect of peace and not perfection. And I have a motto. It's live in peace, not in pieces. And it was because I came to an existence of meeting my friend Jamie when I was living in a state of overwhelm and living in a state of survival and living in a state of pieces all over the place, but never ever really experiencing peace and calm. And it just was always this other way of going, and it really wasn't what I was meant to be feeling. And then Jamie and I both had young girls, and we started doing girls' circles for them and women's circles for them. And in those circles, we started having women asking us what we realized when we were working with the daughters is that we needed to be working with the moms too, because we would do all this work with the daughters, and then the daughters would go home, and then the work would need to be continued with the moms, because really um, we were giving moms the tools to work with their daughters so that their daughters didn't have to like come online into their periods or menopause or any of these other things so hard, in such an existence that we just didn't know about anything. And so we started doing sisterhood circles, and this is about 10 years ago now. And now we've moved everything online, and we call our company Peace Not Perfection Academy. And the reason we call it Peace Not Perfection Academy is because we train and equip women in the divine mysteries. And this is in the divine feminine mysteries, in mystery school teachings, and in things that look like somatic breath work, teaching, somatic movement, Reiki. We
Reiki.
work yeah, we
Mhm.
work with all the mystery schools, and that means that we work within goddesses and gods. We work with herbs, and we work with wind, fire, water. So we've got a lot of different things that we kind of connect with within our academy. And so, do you want to talk about what we offer, Jamie, or you want me to keep going?
No, it's fine. So I can take over. So we have what's called our Path to Priestess program. I'll go really quick on this because we're running low on time. It's a 13-month program. This is for the woman who wants to um, reclaim themselves, heal,
Mhm.
go do the deep work, but also at the same time, we're offering 12 certifications. So you can come into the priestess for 13 months. It's a closed container of 13 women. We only open it twice a year, and you will be with these women for 22 live circles online, and then we do an optional retreat at the end. But we train you on Reiki. You get activated in Reiki 1 and 2. You'll learn somatic breathwork and breathing and movement. You'll have other access to other things such as ceremonial work that we teach. Or if you don't want any of that and you just want to come along for the growth and sisterhood, that's also a part built into the program. So you can have that as well. So that's coming up on February 15th. We close the doors the day before, and then we have our 13 months from there. And then we also have what we call Lunar Alchemy, which is our full moon and new moon ceremonies. We are making our one a ceremony a month available to the public per charge, so that they can experience it. But we also have a tarot class in there that you can do weekly. We have red tent ceremonies. We have sisterhood and share circles that we've created. Anything else you want to add to that, Stacey?
Yeah, our lunar alchemy is really just a way to support women who are, coming into spiritual awakening, want to learn more about divine feminine, maybe want to work with the moon, the new moon, the full moon, maybe want to work with their own cycles. That's kind of what we're doing in that aspect. We do have red tents there. If you don't know what a red tent is, it is when a group of women meet and we talk about our periods, and we talk about maybe how we had our babies, and we talk about how we're stepping into our wise woman or not. And it is a circle space with sisterhood, but it's also a space of ceremony and ritual. And then in Path to Priestess, our 13-month program, that's really a program to support women who really want to do the work for 13 months. They want to be in a closed container and have quick transformation. They see themselves right now and they're like, yes, 13 months from now, I'm going to be a completely different person, but I don't want to do it alone. I want to do it with support, with mentorship, with coaching. And I also want to learn these things. And if I so choose, want to get certifications in them. And then maybe you're like me. Maybe when you get full of the information, you want to provide a way to provide it in your own community or with your own business or with your own, villages. And so our goal is really to help every woman come back to themselves, to have an inner knowing of peace, not feeling like they have to live in perfection all the time,
Mhm.
and having an existence where they're stepping into that new skin and they have tools, they have divinational tools they can use, they have somatic tools they can use, they have energetic tools. So, if you want to learn more about Path to Priestess, we are going to send a link with a coupon code for it. You're going to get $500 off. If you'd like to learn more information, you can also set up a one-on-one resonance call with Jamie and I, and that is a free 15 to 30-minute phone call. And we do provide a healing in that call, but we also talk to you and you can determine whether this is something that's really resonating with you or not. You can ask any questions. Um, Jamie and I both have about 20 years of experience working with mystery schools, working in healing and coaching, and working with mentoring. So I mentor and coach about 150 people a month. And Jamie also mentors and coaches. Mine is with a different kind of business that I do it with, but a lot of our experiences have led us to this place with Peace Not Perfection. And we really just want to help women be able to experience the journey of womanhood in a gentle way. And we don't want you to come online to menopause and it be in pain, or come online to your periods every month and be in pain. Real quick, I'll talk about the ceremonies and rituals, and then we'll get started on the snake activation. Some of the things you learn in Path to Priestess is how to give a menarche ceremony for young girls when they start their first period, blessing ways for women who are pregnant and getting ready to have babies. We also teach you wise woman ceremony, and we are not credentialing you, certifying you in women's circles. And a lot of women who come into our 13-month priestess path have an idea of running retreats, or they want to run circles and they want to develop their gifts and they want to learn more tools and divination and more things working with the moon and the moon energies. And they want to have a solid way of doing that. And that's what this 13-month program is about. We do make it really affordable. Jamie and I both have children ourselves. We homeschool them. And so we do try to make it something that is affordable for everyone to be able to do, because this is something that was so powerful in our lives. And a lot of the paths that we've seen out there that are other companies that do what we do not provide the kind of circles we provide. So they'll give you information and videos, and that's it. You're training. At the end of the training, you're done, and you call yourself a priestess, which is great. It's a great training. But what Jamie and I do is we provide the training in that asynchronous way where you're getting videos and manuals and things to learn all the things we're teaching you. But then we also meet in 22 circles, and those 22 circles are a sisterhood of 13 women who are all on the same journey of transformation. And so you get to come into those circles and you have mentorship and coaching. You're not just left to learn these things on your own and explore them on your own, but we actually will help you learn them and explore them, and we'll give you opportunities within the circle to try them. And at our retreat, to if you want to, like, oh, I'd like to put on this cacao ceremony that you taught me, Stacy. Can I do that? These are all things that we provide opportunities for within our 13-month program. If you just want to get your feet a little wet and just dip a little bit in it, we recommend the things like lunar alchemy, which are the full moon and new moon circles. Those are great to start learning about how to spiritually come online. We don't just do witchy things in there. We do all kinds of different practices in there. Again, from Reiki to somatic movement to somatic breath work to meditations to let's take this apple and build a little craft out of it. Okay. So we believe that when you're working with witchcraft and magic, you're bringing the spiritual into the physical. And so we bring all those different things in. It's not just one thing. Jamie and I are multidimensional, and so are all of our classes and things that we present and provide with Peace Not Perfection Academy. So, did you have anything to add, Jamie, before I move on? I know it's
No, you did great.
12:14. Okay.
That's okay. Let's do this.
So I want you all to just take a few deep breaths. I'm going to give 1 minute for questions. Did anyone have a question before I move you into deep breaths and snake activation?
And you can unmute and just ask away.
Yep, or you can put it in the chat. Okay. Well, this is definitely not a way that Jamie and I are used to exploring sisterhood and women. In our sisterhood circles, we always have cameras on and we share with each other and we give lots of time for sharing and you being able to have an opportunity to talk about, share, and integrate all the things that you're learning. And so we're in our things and programs that we do, they're much more interactive. And this, because it's like our free thing that we do every month, it's usually a little less interactive. And so, just so you guys know, that's not where we're used to working because we're coaches and mentors and
And this
spiritual
is
guides.
for,
So,
and this is also like for those who are interested in learning about the Snake New Year. I mean,
yeah,
there's those who are just here for that, and that's
right.
great. And we're hoping to impart some wisdom, some tools, and now an activation.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you can get up and be in your space moving around, it's best to do that because we're actually going to move a little bit like the snake today. So, I'm going to just move my camera a little bit so you can see my body fully and step back. And first, I'm going to take you through a little bit of breath work, and we're just going to center into our bodies, and then we're going to do some movement to activate the snake. So, I am going to close this PowerPoint so you can see me fully. And then I want you to just take 3 deep breaths. So, one, in through the nose, out through the nose. 2, in through the nose, out through the nose. And this third one, if you'd like to just go in and out through the nose versus the mouth, you can. I like to put my hand on my heart and just tap it for a few minutes, and I'm just going to breathe into my heart for a minute. And I might start rocking a little bit and just feeling the energy in my body. So I just allow this to happen by just moving up my heels, just one heel at a time. I just kind of allow each of that movement to happen. And if I feel like I want to pull my hip up and down while I do it, you can. You're just kind of rocking or moving your hips and just allowing. So it might look a little bit like this. You just kind of will lift and go and lift and go. And you're just allowing. And you can even go like this, back and forth, like you're just dancing, twisting your hips. You're just allowing the energy. And I want you to imagine just your feet. We're moved into the wood snake. The wood snake is very earthy and grounding. So I want you to just imagine your feet grounded on the earth. Just imagine them rooting into the earth, allowing those roots to come up and just be able to feel Mother Gaia and all that the earth has to provide in its grounding. We're going to feel that through our feet. And as it starts to move up through our body, through our legs, into our knees, you're just going to sway back and forth with the energy. The energy of the earth is in and out. The energy of the earth moves. It has a vibration. See if you can feel that vibration just by moving back and forth. And as you begin to let this energy come up, you might feel it in your knees, and you're going to allow your legs to move back and forth. And as it's moving into your hips, you might want to rock your hips back and forth. You can squat and get real deep and just really let them go and around and back and forth and around and back and forth and around and back and forth. And we're just going to feel this energy here for a few minutes. And breathe into that womb space. I feel really good right now. I just want to do like a bunch of circles. So I'm just going to do a bunch of circles in my womb and just allow my hips to activate back and forth in circles, back and forth in circles. If you have any sound to that energy, just let it go. As you're grounding into this earth and you're taking this energy all the way from your feet, all the way to your knees, all the way up to your hips, we're going to move it into our womb. We're just going to hold it there for a minute and we're going to allow it to begin to move up to our belly button. And if you'd like to just try to twist and roll back and forth up into your belly button, you can just kind of keep moving with it. But we're going to hold that energy there for a minute and we're just going to breathe. Just moving that energy. You might find the grounding of the earth just coming in. And we're going to go ahead and let the energy move up to our chest. You might feel it in your heart, your chest. You might actually be feeling really hot right now. If you have any kind of peri or menopause and you're feeling really hot, just allow that energy to keep coming up. That heat is exactly what we're working with right now. The snake has all this heat, sensual, sexy, energy. So just bring that all up through the earth. And we're going to bring it up to our chest and keep moving and rocking and rolling. If you feel like going around in circles, and we're going to take that energy from our chest, we're going to allow it to come into our throat chakra. You may have a sound here. Allow the sound, whatever it may be. I know it feels weird. It's okay. Just let it go. Shake a little bit. We're not going to shake this energy out. We're just shaking just a little bit and moving the energy up. Twist and hip and twist and hip. And you can take your hands even. I like to take my hands from my feet sometimes and just bring it all the way up so I can like physically move the energy. And as I'm moving it through my throat, chakra and just releasing anything that needs to be released there. I'm going to move that energy all the way up through my face and into my third eye. And I'm going to allow that energy to come up all the way through my crown chakra. And we're just going to dance with that energy through our body. It's just grounded roots all the way into the ground. And those roots and that grounding and that energy comes all the way up. And as it comes all the way up, it's going to connect completely into the sky. And you're going to just see that light activation of that snake and that movement. It's coming from the sky all the way back down, grounding you into that earth. And if you just want to move, you can even go in circles here if you feel called. You can twist your body all the way around. Just think about like, how does a snake move? How can I move like a snake? If you feel anything stuck in there, just let it go. Sometimes you got to vibrate to let it go and just keep twisting and curling. I like to put my hands up and just really move like the snake and allow it to come all the way up. And then I'll bring the hands down all the way back down. And you're just allowing here, observing. Don't say anything to yourself. Oh my God, this feels so weird. What is she having me do? Who cares? Just relax. Let yourself do it. Just move your body how you feel called to move your body. And we're just going to stand here for a minute. And when you're ready, you're going to take your legs and you're going to separate them a little bit and just ground it into the earth. And we're just going to shake. And how we do this, we just move one leg back and forth. We bend it just a little bit. We allow the shake and activation, and we just allow it to shake all the way through the body. I like to first try to shake my booty where it's moving all around really bigly, like I never want my body to be. And I allow that shake to come all the way up to my stomach and my chest and my throat chakra and my voice. And and then I release the energy. And you might feel called to do that one more time. You just shake up the energy from the ground all the way up. And you release it. And just take a few deep breaths here as you feel called. If you feel called, you can do it on one side of your nose, then the other side out. Or you can just in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just going to gently allow as we come into just our body. Your body will naturally just begin to come down. If you're a mama, you might have like a real calm sway that's very calming. And just allow. As I'm standing here and allowing, I can feel my body cooling down. The heat energy that I allowed to go all the way through my body and process is just releasing. And as it releases, it just takes anything and everything that no longer serves me. So that as I open my eyes and walk into this next path, I'm walking on my highest good. I'm standing in my knowing, in my existence, in my strength, in all that I am as a human, as a woman. And I allow. Thank you for the opportunity for us to be here with you. Thank you for coming and enjoying and being here with us today. If you have any questions, you need any one-on-one support, or you'd like to join any of the things that we've got going on, we'd love to have you. We'll have an email that goes out tomorrow. We'll have discount codes for Path to Priestess and for our monthly ritual if you'd like to come to the full moon or new moon. And it will also have a link to set up a resonance call with Jamie and I if you'd like to meet us one-on-one. That is free. We do a healing. It's 30 minutes. And we just talk to you a little bit more about what it is and how it might resonate. We are so honored that you were here today, that you took time out of your Saturday for yourself, to give back to you, to give yourself an opportunity to say yes. Yes to me. Yes to you. My heart honors your heart in sisterhood, in love. And I thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
In love and light, in peace, not perfection.
That's right.
If anyone has anything they'd like to share, any questions they'd like to ask, we will stay here for a few minutes. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I felt the heat. Thank you so much, Jillian.
Yay. Yeah, I felt the
I
heat
felt
too.
the heat rising.
I almost wanted to take my jacket off.
Yeah, it's intense. It's good.
Yay. I'm so glad you all could come. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great
Have a
weekend.
great week. Welcome to the snake.